I want to give a very special honor to Rachel and Roger. I know, like me, their cup runneth over. I know they are so excited to see everybody here this morning. So excited to be launching the DC Peace Academy today. We started day one. All the students came, showed up, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Half of them showed up on time. Half of them showed up early. I'm so excited for Dr. Mitchell for coming out to be with us today. He just gave some very moving words to the students upstairs. And one of the things that comes up for me is that this is the first time that I really feel like we have something for us by us. And I just want to say thank you to our funders, next and first and foremost, for making it possible for us to develop a community-centric model of a program that allows us to center the voices of those who are most impacted by gun violence. I want to thank our funders for understanding that our frontline outreach workers are the main ingredient to our public health approach here in DC. They are the backbone of this work that we do, and it's so important that we provide them with the training, the resources they need to treat trauma, and that we provide them with the support that they need as they do the great work that they're doing in communities across the city to prevent shootings before they happen. I can't understate the debt of gratitude that we owe to our violence interrupters across the city. We have Javon here, we have Will here, we have Coach Petey, we have Kiera, who, if I can go off script and say congratulations to her for moving from an outreach worker to a program manager this week. She will be moving from the Eckington site to oversee the new site in Sursum Quarter in Ivy City, and I'm so excited for her because, as we all know, we need more women in leadership in this work. And I just can't thank our funders enough because, as I said, this gives us an opportunity to be able to center the voices of the people that are closest to this problem. This program is privately funded, the DC Peace Academy, and so as a result of that, we will be able to have the freedom that we need to really provide the resources to the people that's doing the work on the front lines. I think the city has come a long way in the last 4 years to actually build up a strong workforce. We have Dewan's office, Satara, as I said, Marcus in the building. We have over 200 individuals working on the front lines in the city in neighborhoods that they love. And they have themselves transformed their lives and have decided to go back into the community to help others do the same. And as a result of that, we want to be able to help them with the vicarious trauma that they deal with every day, the personal trauma that they deal with every day. They have life coaches assigned to them throughout the 3 months that they'll be in the training, and they also will have a social worker on site throughout the 3 months when they will be in training. As Dr. Mitchell kept saying, 125 hours of training. They have committed to this first cohort. I want to say shout out to LA, shout out to PERT, all the individuals in the room, Coach Petey, who committed to being a part of this first cohort because they are our trailblazers. They will be the ones that will help us to shape this academy into an institution that can be what our frontline workers truly need. And this curriculum, I know Maurice will talk about it a little bit in a second, but this curriculum was designed by DC's experts. People in the room like Wally, people in the room that have been doing this work for decades, and they will be the individuals who will be teaching the courses in the academy. I was about to say police academy, which brings me to that point that Roger always makes. If we have a police academy, it's only right that we have a peace academy, right? So all of the instructors for the peace academy will be homegrown individuals who have been doing this work for decades. We have the Alliance of Concerned Men who will be teaching the conflict resolution program. We have Dr. Pennell from the Love More movement who will be teaching us how to become life coaches. And I just want to say a very special honor to Dr. Pennell for always holding space for us for healing in the work that we do. We have Pastor Ghostin, who was here with us this morning, always constantly holding space for us, reminding us to take care of ourselves because we know that this work that we do is very serious. We consume a lot of trauma, right? And the body keeps the score. So it's so important for us to make sure that we are being mindful and taking care of ourselves. Behind Will over there, some of my colleagues from the OAG are here, and I just want to say hello to Amin, Abby, and Lauren for always being so supportive and for the great work that they do in expanding gun violence intervention throughout the city. And we, as Peaceful DC, we want to see violence intervention programs and everywhere where they're needed. But we also want to see our staff get the resources and the support that they need to do a great job. At this point, I will bring up Dr. Mitchell, who will offer a blessing for us.
Y'all could do better than that. This woman lives the work, she does the work, and then she remembers everybody's names and what they said. That's extraordinary. She's an extraordinary woman. Just bow your heads no matter where you are, no matter who you believe in, or whether you believe at all. We call you Father, we call you Abba, we call you the great I am, the maker of the way. Father, we come to you and we ask you to give us the proper roadmap. Give us the instructions. Show us that we're capable and able. Give us a peace that's inside of us so that we can be the peace that we want to see in our city, in our families, in our community, and in our nation. Pour into us so that we can be the best version of ourselves, so that we can pour into others. Give us everything that we need because you are the way maker. We stand here, we sit here, we engage now for a time of freedom. We pursue freedom, we love freedom and justice. And so let us be ambassadors of that freedom and justice. Let this be the work that changes a nation, changes a community, changes families. We love you, we magnify you, we glorify you. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
My name is LaShawna Thompson-Hill, and I'm the first executive director of Peaceful DC. And I am also the interim director of the Peace Academy for now. Mama Ivy, good morning. And I also want to say, for those that don't know, I was born and raised in Ward 8. I went to Hart and Ballou. I didn't graduate from Ballou because I dropped out. I ended up getting my GED and CTF when I became incarcerated when I was 19 years old. I ended up staying in prison for 18 years as a result of a violent crime, and I came home in 2011. When I came home, things looked and felt a lot for me in 2011 as they did when I left in 93. And so I hit the ground running, and thanks to Baba Yango Sawyer, who helped create a platform for me and position me to be able to share my experience and get involved in the work. Also honor to Mr. Thornton, Charles Thornton, who brought me on my first role within government when I worked as a reentry specialist working with women at Morka. I went on to start The Wire, Women Involved in Reentry Efforts. And basically we are a group of women who advocate for women to get released. We support women when they come home, and we work with women and girls who are at risk of incarceration to disrupt the pipelines to incarceration, like the trauma to prison pipeline and the school to prison pipeline. I also had an opportunity to work in prison conditions at the Corrections Information Council. And then I went on to engage in restorative justice work at the DC Office of the Attorney General. Under Carl Racine, I went on to help launch the Cure the Streets program. And as everybody in this room probably know, we started out with 2 programs, expanded to 6, and by the end of this year, they will have 10 programs. So in addition to working with Cure the Streets, working alongside the One's office, and working alongside the great leaders in this city, one thing that I have come to realize is that it's important that we don't drop the ball. Yeah. It's important that we continue to, as I said, we have to treat trauma. We have to train the people doing the work on the front lines, and we have to transform communities. We have to do all 3. We can't pick and choose. And one thing that's been startling to me, that I'm just coming to this realization over the last 30 days, that the people most impacted by gun violence are young men, 18 to 34-year-olds. Oftentimes, we want to think about the younger people that are impacted by violence or the elderly, and it's a little bit easier to have compassion for those individuals because they're cute, they're adorable, and we know that we've been taught to value our elders. But these young men that I'm speaking about are victimized more than anybody in the history of this country. They have been victimized for hundreds of years. They have been incarcerated at higher rates, victims of homicide at the highest rates, and they have been locked out of opportunities, basically born into misfortune. And so I want to thank Roger for helping me to accept that reality. Because as a woman, I do sometimes want to focus on women. Like, why so many women getting shot? That's not okay. Why so many babies getting shot? That's not okay. And I heard Steve Kerr's speech, and it was a passionate speech, and he was banging on the table. And I was like, why he not mad about the black men that get shot where I grew up at? So I just wanted to call that into this space that we're here because this is a social justice issue. It's an economic justice issue, and it's a racial justice issue. And I'm hoping and praying that we can get to a place where we can learn to build trust with one another, break down these silos, and really get serious about this work so we can make a difference for the people that we serve, which is serving the people in the communities that we love, the neighborhoods that are at highest risk of gun violence. I'm hoping and praying that we can start to practice more active listening. That means not listening to formulate a response or listening to hear what you want to hear, but like just being present and really hear what is being said. And at this point, I want to call up Maurice so he can talk to us about his role with the DC Peace Academy, Peace for DC, and the curriculum that we developed, the blueprint.
How's everybody doing? So, in this space right here, when I walked in today, I tried to think like, okay, what are you gonna say? Then I saw all y'all kings and queens coming in here. I got a little nervous, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know what to say. So I looked at this board though, and I saw three things: leadership, integrity, and service, right? Leadership, look around the room right here. All the power, all the answers in the community are right here in this room. And in this room, even though it's getting a little deep, it's probably about 100 right by at this point, but we represent probably 2/3 of the city. We represent 100% of the individuals who are, as they say now, the young men of promise, the young women of promise. They are all represented in this space. This is the leadership. And when you see the Office of Gun Violence and Safety, you see the WAN's office, when you see all of these CBOs that are here, all of the individuals in here that want to have a CBO at one point in time, all of the individuals who don't have an organization, but you are doing phenomenal work. That's what leadership is. Leadership is also understanding that even though you think that you are the great, because some of us think we're the best at what we do, right? But a leader is a person who knows he may be very good, or she, LaShawn, may be good at what they do, but you don't sit up here to say that you're the best. What you try to do is you elevate the next person. Somebody taught me when I first started doing this work, they said my job is for me to take my jacket off and put it on you. And I remembered that. And those are some of the principles that I live by, right? Leadership. Number 2 is integrity. You can't do this work if you don't have integrity. In this city, you will be identified. Trust me. Integrity. It's more important than anything in the world. And it's going to help us no matter what we're doing. Because this work spills over to your home. It spills over to the place you worship. It spills over into your relationships. It spills over into everything. So integrity, most important. The last one is service. That's why we're doing this. This work was not being funded at all. But I guarantee you, if I go around this room, I can point out how many individuals in this room, and my hand will get tied saying how many people continue to serve when there was no money there. Continue to serve. And tomorrow will serve if all the money goes away. So this is what's important. I'm going to get right into the curriculum. Our job is to put all of us out of a job. If you are not here for that, you're in the wrong room. Remember that. Our job is to put ourselves out of the job that we have right now. Okay? So when we're talking about the curriculum for the Peace Academy, this is what I call the ultimate smoothie, where we took all of these amazing organizations, all of you amazing individuals in here, because everybody in here has this, like, they say, everybody has this innate ability. God gives everybody in here talent. The majority of the people in here, your talent is we served on a whole nother level. We are able to adapt. We are able to put a charge in individuals who most have forgotten about. We see the greatness in individuals who've been forgotten about. We see the greatness in them. That's what's in this smoothie right here. So your organization may be really good at mediation. You're on here. You may be really good at motivating a young person, showing somebody how to create a curriculum, showing somebody how to start a business. All of that is in this smoothie right here, which is the DC Peace Academy. And we've been charged to figure out what is that thing that you do. What are you great at? Let's put it in here. And let's for one time say, this is an official DC model. This is an official DC homegrown. And so that is the beautiful thing about this curriculum. We're going to talk, listen, the elephant in the room is going to get addressed every day. I promise you that. So for all those individuals who may be in here and you're doing this work because you say, hey, you know, I got a criminal background and I can't get no other job, so I'm happy with this job, and you feel like you got to retire in this job, no. Once you come to this Peace Academy, you're going to realize that you are on the exact same playing field as the Dr. Roger Mitchell. You're on the exact same playing field as a Marcus Ellis. You can be a therapist. You can be a psychiatrist. You can be whatever you want to be. You do not have to be a VI for the next 5 to 10 years. And we're going to encourage that you don't do that. But we're going to give you the blueprint. That was a shameless plug for my But we're going to give you the blueprint. Because everyone in here has the opportunity to be the greatest version of yourself. When I look around this room and I see guys who came through the Pathways program, and now they running organizations, stop, come on, let's think about that real quick. You came through Pathways. Everybody that gave up on you. You probably gave up on yourself at one point. Now you running an organization. Greatness is in this room. Greatness is in every last one of you all. All we want to do is to pull it out and show you all that this is our city. The problem is our problem. The solution starts and ends with who? With us. No complaining. And then the fact that we were able to secure funding for this that's outside of government funding, but being very, very smart and understanding that we need government as well. This is a partnership. This is a true partnership. So I'm going to end on that and just saying that this curriculum is all of you all. Everyone is Peace Academy. So you seen the Malcolm X movie? At the end, everybody stood up and said, I'm Malcolm X. So I need everybody just to understand, I am Peace Academy. Every last one of you all. This does not happen. This does not work unless everybody is 150% involved. And understand that we need all of us. While we are the solution, we also have to admit that some days we've been the problem. So we're going to work together. We're going to have leadership, integrity, and service. So I'm looking forward to this journey. And I'm hoping that you're all on this journey for the right reason. And we're going to make some amazing things happen in this city. All right? Thank you.
I want to say thank you so much to Dion and to Far Southeast Family Strengthening Collaborative for all the work that they've done in our community over the decades. And most importantly, for hosting us for this first cohort for 3 weeks. This is our new home for every Tuesday and Thursday. And our students will be in training all day long. And they've been so accommodating. And I just thank you so much for the great work that you do and for helping us during this very important time. And I want to give you the mic.
I'm so proud of you. So I'm not going to be long. First, I'm 51, and something called menopause happens with these lights. And we don't agree right now in my life. No, honestly, I was thinking when I got up here, I wanted to, like Pastor Mitchell, I'll say, when you have a preaching background, you can talk a little bit too much when you get a mic. So I'm going to be serious with these 3 points. First, thank you all for involving the Far Southeast Collaborative as a part of the partnership with this organization, which you all are doing. It's not often that, an individual like myself, I heard Maurice say it, I started off this work just doing community activism work. I just want to help my people, y'all. I'm a 4th generation Washingtonian. I grew up uptown. I started working over in Southeast 25 years ago, and I loved it. And I just wanted to do right for people. And that transition into this position I'm in now, Chief Executive Officer, I don't know how I got there. Love more, I want to be out on the street, right? I miss that. But when you're in this role, you got to look at collaboration differently. You got to look at it from a different perspective. It's not so much about always having the resources financially. It's about recognizing you have the economic power through human capital. And that's what we miss. Collectively, we are worth more than this government can ever give us in a grant.
That's right.
But the key to that is unifying our power through an institution. That's what this does. So the collaboration is one piece. So we're grateful to be able to collaborate because we can't do nothing as people, promised people. That's black and brown. That's us. I can say it. Unless we collaborate and put our egos aside. But we can't do that unless we have an institution that gives us the capacity to do it well. So that's why I'm a part of the Peace Academy. Because I want to support what I've seen Mama Hilton do, Bobby Hilton do. They created institutions that grew up people like me to be able to have an understanding of what collaboration looks like from a human capital perspective through an institute that can change the lives of people. That's what I'm interested in doing. None of this matters to me if I can't change the economic vibrancy in the community that I serve. Because violence is the way they do the action, but the root cause is that we're hurting.
Yeah.
Our people are hurting because we have not built an institution of value that creates economic vibrancy so our people don't have to pick up a gun. That's our work. So through this collaboration, through funding this institution, we're going to figure out how we move our people from poverty into sustainable classes of life that they ain't got to pull up a gun to take something from you because I'm hurting inside of me. So that's my work. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. Thank you all so very much. Far Southeast is in the house. Y'all can give our own round up, shout out. We got some good people that work with us, you guys, and serve you all, and I want to acknowledge them. Our program manager, who is our peace building manager, is absent. Y'all know Rhonda Abney, that's my right hand, y'all. She's out on a well-needed vacation, but I want to honor her today and her team that's here, Larry, who is her coordinator, Mama Lou, and a couple of our other staff that are here. So thank you for including us. Ibrahim, that's our lead for our credible messengers. So we're here doing the work, and we appreciate the opportunity to serve you all.
Thank you, sis. I want to say a shout out to a couple more people. Portia, Roger Bell. Portia, and congratulations on your new assignment with Life These. And also Brittany Graham, Queens Against Gun Violence, and Antoine, A.K. Black from the Trinidad neighborhood. Dirt, also from Benton Park, Benton Terrace. And Terrence, I want to see if you want to come up and say a few words on behalf of the Alliance of Concerned Men and Brother Tyrone Parker.
Hello, everyone. It's a blessing to be here. I see Yvonne out here, our family, ACM family, Stan, and our extended family here. ACM is here to serve, and that's what was started 30 years ago with Mr. Tyrone C. Parker. Sacrificing the community without resources, a staple, an example of what it looks like, a family extended to the community. And so we are here to support this Peace Academy. And what this looks like for me is a portion of reparations for us. When they instilled us back in whenever it was, right? It took PhDs to do that. So it's gonna take a institutional organization like Peace Academy to break down those systemic barriers. And that's why we're here to contribute.
To God be the glory. This is a transformational component that's occurring now. As I look out into this audience, I can't help but to be excited to see the spirit that have helped to transform the District of Columbia. It takes me back to what Muhammad Ali decided to do when he was invited to go to Harvard to speak. Muhammad Ali stated, I would make the shortest presentation, but the most profound presentation that would place me in the World Book of Guinness. He said, we, me, we. And that's what this is. Me is we, and we is me. That's Manhattan. When you look at one point in time when the District of Columbia was considered to be the murder capital of the USA, now we're no longer in the 10 rankings of it. When we then look at the District of Columbia as being the second best place in this country to live at, we now become grateful. But even more than that, when we look at incarceration and homicides on our youth, it's almost disappearing on the juvenile perspective. It shows the magnitude of the work that has been done. DYRS has less than 100 youth there. Less than when Benny Sherrod built the New Beginnings, a facility of 88 to replace 325. As the last time I looked, it was only 27. You tell me if we have not been doing the work as a community, we are reducing incarceration. And as we reduce incarceration, always remember this. As we turn this ocean, and it's all of us in here. All of us are one. The ship rises together, we fall together in the spirit of the God that we serve for the greater good of our community. Not as individuals, but as a whole. And as I say this in my departing spirit, you are the common denominator. You will make a difference. You are helping black men and black women from going back to jails. Therefore, coming back to see our communities, to strengthen them in the greater spirit of good. Every time they see one of you all that's in the spirit of doing good, it excites them. It encourages them. You send them word back into the correctional facilities to make a difference. I thank you all for allowing me this brief moment to say I love you. Yeah. And there ain't nothing you can do about it.
We love you too, Tyrone. In closing, first of all, I want to say I love my people because I forgot all my talking points, but they just covered everything for me. But a few things I heard. One is collective leadership. The other is faith. Knowing that our ancestors had the audacity to think that they could end slavery and be free. I think it would behoove us to have the audacity to believe that we can end gun violence in our city.
1, 2, 3. Peace.